I want to argue that Benjamin Franklin, who is considered to be one of the greatest scientists, one of the greatest philosophers, who is one of the founding fathers of United States of America, is actually a villain. His quote, "Time is money," has done a great disservice to humanity. Now, I do not want to take anything away from Benjamin Franklin, but because of this quote, modern human has destroyed his mental health. Because we have been programmed by this concept that time is money, time is so valuable, we always feel like we are running out of time. And when you feel like you're running out of time, you're actually aging faster. When you feel like you're running out of time, your body is breaking down faster. One of the things that you have to overcome in order to actually heal your panic attack is the concept of time. Because if you just sit with your eyes closed, your mind, your attention is either going to the past or it is going to the future. It is either thinking of the past traumatic experiences and reliving the worst moments of your life, or your attention is in the future imaginal scenarios, future anticipatory scenarios, which are the worst possible cases of your life. Your mind is so cooked by the concept of time, and this is why you cannot heal your panic attacks. But if by some miracle you can become completely centered in the present moment, then your mind stops running to the past, it stops running to the future, it becomes present. It becomes centered in this graceful present moment. And when your mind is completely centered at the present moment, all sorts of possibilities exist. All sorts of possibilities, all sorts of wonderful events are now open to you. Because divine, God, Spirit, Jesus Christ, whatever you want to call that higher source energy, is only available when you're truly centered in the present moment. When your mind is truly centered in the present moment, when your mind does not feel like you're running out of time, when your mind is not dominated by the past events, then you're directly connected to the source energy. You're directly connected to the divine that is present within yourself. Divine is actually penetrating everything in this universe. There is nothing in this universe that is not penetrated by the divine. I actually cannot think of a single reason why this fact has not been popularized into this modern world. Because this has been written in the very respected scientific journals that this universe is entirely spiritual. But nobody talks about that. If only more people could know that this entire universe is spiritual, that everything is penetrated by spirit, everything is penetrated by God, we are the particle of divinity itself, then all the possibilities exist within ourselves. We do not have to run, we do not have to compete, we do not have to manipulate our external circumstances in order to get what we want. If we want health, wealth, happiness, love, freedom from panic attacks, we do not have to set out into this world and compete for these types of resources with other men. Because when you're competing for the resources into this external reality with other men, then you accumulate a lot of stress. You accumulate a lot of negative emotions like anger, frustration, resentment towards this world and towards other men, towards women. And that actually keeps you trapped in anxiety, in worry, concern, and all of these emotions have finally led you to explode into a panic attack. So, the first thing that you must decondition yourself from is this concept that this universe is material. It's not. It is actually entirely spiritual. Society has programmed you to view this world as a physical universe. Please understand that this is entirely spiritual universe. Now, the reason why I say that this universe is entirely spiritual is because if you can center your mind, if you can center your attention in the graceful present moment, then you're connected to the spirit. And once you're connected to the spirit, once you're connected to that source energy, once you're connected to the divine energy, you can get anything that you desire simply by using your mind, simply by using your wonderful human imagination. When you're connected to the source energy and you start to imagine that you're actually free from panic attacks, you start to imagine all the wonderful things are actually happening to you right now, then all of those things will materialize into existence. This is the reason why yogis have been calling this external reality of ours, this projection of three-dimensional world, as Maya. Maya means illusion, a magical lie, because they knew very well that this external reality of ours is just an extension of our own mind, is a projection of our imagination. So if you can make your imagination wonderful, if you can make your imagination so powerful that it can generate events into your external reality, then you can truly call yourself as a particle of divine. You actually become a limb of the divine, a hand of the divine, an instrument of the divine. So the first step of actually creating the life of your dream, of attracting the freedom from panic attacks that you really want, is doing yoga nidra. People like Andrew Huberman have been calling yoga nidra as non-sleep deep rest protocol, but it is just yogic sleep. What happens is you rotate your awareness all over your body organs one by one until you achieve a state of sleepiness or a sort of relaxation. That is yoga nidra. When that happens, your brain will start to create alpha waves and theta waves. Right now, you're watching me on a phone, your brain is producing beta waves. When you're super stressed, when you're having anxiety, panic attacks, your brain is producing high beta waves. But when you do yoga nidra, your brain will create alpha waves and theta waves. Alpha waves helps your brain to imagine wonderful things clearly and easily. And when your brain is producing theta waves, all this imaginal act will go right into your subconscious mind. Because when your brain is producing theta waves, you become very suggestible, you become very hypnotizable. You will accept, believe, and surrender to the truth that all this imaginal act that you are performing using your conscious mind is actually the truth. And when the subconscious mind believes that all these wonderful things are actually happening to you, then through the connection with the divine, through the connection with the source energy, you change your life. You attract everything that you have imagined for yourself. So, if you want your friends and family to start complimenting you by saying, John, how are you so peaceful and relaxed? All of a sudden, please tell us your secret. Then you have to do yoga nidra and you have to use your imaginal act. You have to use your imagination wonderfully and accurately. Now, it's entirely possible to completely disregard your therapy sessions and anxiety pills if you just learn how to do yoga nidra correctly and how to imagine correctly. Your girlfriend who left you for another guy and who said to you insults like you're not an impressive guy will start to say to her friends, my God, Mark has finally become the man of my dreams, and the sad part is now he's out of my league. All of these wonderful things can actually happen to you if you simply learn the skill, the art of relaxing your body completely and using your attention and your intention wisely. That is what dharana means. I've already told you yoga nidra and how to do yoga nidra correctly. Now I'm going to tell you what dharana is. Dharana is actually the sixth limb of yoga, And what dharana does is it allows you to use your attention and intention wisely. You intend for a life that is completely free from panic attacks. You intend to have a life where you're walking into a room that previously used to trigger your panic attack, and now you're suddenly cracking jokes and having fun in that room. You intend to wake up with a big smile on your face. You intend to go to bed at night saying to yourself, oh my God, I had an amazing day. There was not a single anxious thought in my head. You intend to date a beautiful girl and kiss her and hear her compliment you on how peaceful and powerful of a human being you are. All of these are intentions that you want out of your life. Now, if you use your attention, your mental attention on this intention wisely, then you're going to derive a lot of feelings, a lot of elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, empowerment out of this act of using your attention on the intention. And when you can derive elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, and empowerment by doing dharana correctly, then you've already gained a certain freedom from your life. Because right now, you always depend upon external circumstances to feel what you feel. For example, your external circumstance might bring you a lot of tragic events. Suppose your girlfriend just broke up with you. Suppose a lot of your colleagues and your friends are looking at you weird and they're backbiting about you. Oh, John has had a terrible panic attack. I wonder if he's going to hit that certain business goal. I wonder if he's going to make that much amount of money now. These are all the things that you're experiencing currently. And if you pay attention to all of these external events, then you're going to feel a lot of bad, negative feelings. But if you learn how to do dharana correctly, then you do not have to depend upon external circumstances. You can simply close your eyes, make your inner world of thoughts, feelings, mental imagery real, and feel all the elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, empowerment, love, confidence, etc. And when you can feel these elevated positive feelings, panic attacks, anxiety, worry are start going to fall off of your system, because these negative emotions cannot coexist with the positive emotions. So, if you want to learn how to do yoga nidra correctly, how to do dharana correctly, how to embrace the emotions of this wonderful imaginal act so that you can finally attract the life of your dreams, then I have a one-to-one online personalized coaching. I have linked it in the description box down below and also in the comment section down below. Message me and then we can get started right away. Now, Neville Goddard, a very prominent spiritual leader in the 20th century, started to write a book known as Feeling is the Secret. That means if you learn how to cultivate elevated emotions in your body by disregarding all the terrible external circumstances, all these elevated emotions are going to breathe life into whatever you intend out in your life. All the wonderful imaginal act that you are going to perform doing dharana are going to materialize into existence, because feelings are going to breathe life into all of those imaginal acts. So, for example, if you start to imagine that your friend is actually saying to you, oh my God, you have changed so fast, and you actually feel all the amazing feelings from this imaginal act, it is actually going to come to life in your external three-dimensional world of reality. That's how powerful our human mind can be. If you simply learn how to go beyond the concept of time, if you learn how to center your attention in this graceful, divine present moment, if you learn how to use your intention and your attention wisely. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.